News reporting appears to be getting a little bit extreme recently, particularly when it's to do with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. If it's not the war of words with Piers Morgan, who, to be fair to him, responded to criticisms about him, with all the talk of the titles via the website sussex.com, the fact that it still links to sussexroyal.com, which they weren't supposed to use anymore, and his hints both A, at considering US citizenship, and B, considering limited royal duties to assist while his father is ill, is given rise to lots of new articles and things like that. And even I'm talking about it here because I know lots of people want to hear about it and hear my thoughts about it. Now, one of my thoughts is this. I would be quite concerned if I were in charge of, responsible for signing off or even writing certain articles, such as the one I'll show you in this video. Now, this is just my raw thoughts, reactions, opinions, no statements of fact, and you're invited to form your own views by reading this article in for yourself. Nonetheless, I think it's quite extreme, and I'd have concerns if I were penning this article myself. Now, this article here opens as follows. Allowing Prince Harry, it doesn't even say that, it says, allowing Harry to come back and perform royal duties would be a bit like giving a terrorist a free run of the Houses of Parliament. Now, I think that's quite harsh. Even for those that don't like him, I think that has potential issues. It goes on, he's dynamite, but not of the right kind. As in, not the good kind. You know, dynamite for something being, good. It's dynamite. It's brilliant. I infer. You get the play on words. Nonetheless, those calling for Harry and Meghan to be stripped of their titles are missing the point and risk a head-on collision with counterproductive. So this goes on then to talk about the removal of their titles, or the suggestion of the removal of their titles might elevate them further. In that, as it goes on to describe, the titles that they would revert to use, Prince and Princess Harry, as they would be known without Duke, Duchess of Sussex, those titles can never be removed because it's his birthright. And the article suggests that Prince always trumps Duke and therefore would elevate them both further if they were removed of their titles. Now, obviously, they can't be removed of Princess titles. As the article confirms, these are their birthright, or Harry's birthright. But then another article that this one within the same newspaper refers to talks a little bit more about the removal of the titles and suggesting that this is a nuclear option. And goes on to say that it's suspiciously like something Vladimir Putin might go for, or someone of his ilk. Still, Bob Seeley, Conservative MP, former soldier, written reports on the Kremlin, etc., says he considers the subject grave indeed, otherwise he wouldn't be presenting a bill to strip the Duke and Duchess of their title. This, he says, is a nuclear option that he believes they should face given the recent claims regarding race in his recent book. Obviously referring to the recent one by Omid Scobie, saying that they, Prince Harry and Meghan, must be behind his claims. And therefore, they should remove the titles. But the articles suggest, again, coming back, that the removal of the titles would only elevate them further to revert to using Prince and Princess Harry. But coming back to the point, regardless, I think, what you think of them, whether you like them or not, I think that is a little bit harsh, and I think that's potentially problematic. But they've obviously run it past lawyers who doubtless have many more years' experience than me. But years of experience or not, lawsuits can happen, and we know they happen because Harry has shown himself to be quite litigious. And so I would say, if writing about them, I would be reasonably cautious in the way that I phrase things. Obviously, if you read the full article, there's obviously no direct accusations in there. There's no direct criticism in there. It is a very much a play on words. And so ultimately, they've probably concluded that there's no real cause for concern. But coming back to the opening phrase, allowing him to come back to perform royal duties would be a bit like giving a terrorist a free run of the Houses of Parliament. In other words, it would be tantamount to chaos, causing chaos for the palace, the royal family, and so on. And they might be right. I mean, that might well be the case, because given the difficulties that they must all face now, following Omid Scobie's book, Harry's book, the interviews, the podcasts, all of this sort of stuff, I can quite imagine that it would be quite disruptive and tantamount to chaos. But those are my thoughts. I just thought I would drop a few words on this one. This one was sent to me and did raise my eyebrows a little bit. I know I often raise my eyebrows, but this one particularly raised my eyebrows because, as I say, it's probably been cleared. Well, I'm sure it's been cleared by their lawyers, but I personally would have had trouble writing that and publishing that. Just my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Go and search out the article. I will link it for copyright reference. Go and read it and let me know what you think. And if I could ask you for just one thing, pop that subscribe button down below, help my channel grow, and I will really appreciate it. In the meantime, see you next time.